Hello and welcome. My name's Ant. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sure you've got a ton of other things you could be doing right now. So I want to be respectful of your time and I'm going to be as brief as possible. And I want to give you some value today. That's the main thing. I hope you're having a great day so far. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be respectful of your time and get straight into it. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to tell you how I could help you. And secondly, I'm just going to go through the talk, okay, that I have prepared for you today. So firstly, the way I can help you is I can help you find, remove, and replace the beliefs that limit you. Okay. And this is a lifelong skill that I believe everyone should develop because our beliefs literally shape our reality. They really do. But I'm not going to go too far into belief systems in this video because what I want to show you is how these beliefs kind of shape our reality through these logical levels. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you now. You just bear with me a second. Here we go. So it should be on the screen. Just go back a little bit. So there we go. I hope you can all see that, by the way. So these are logical levels, okay? And what we're going to look at is look at the bottom there where it says environment, behavior, capability, beliefs and values, identity, and purpose. Now you can see at the very top is the purpose. That is where we're sort of heading towards, okay? And most people don't have a purpose. So don't worry if you don't have a purpose at the moment, because most people don't have a purpose. It's simply not taught to us. We don't sort of, we're taught to sort of go to school, get a job and, start earning some money and paying our bills and stuff. So most people are stuck down at the bottom there in the environment and behavior sort of levels. We don't have a purpose, but the problem with not having a purpose is it can be very frustrating just being stuck down there in our same environment with our same behaviors. Sometimes our behaviors get a little bit bitter as, we get older because our environment's not changing. It's just the same old. I mean, how many people do you know that as they've got older, they've got a little bit more bitter as every day goes on? Okay, so what I'm going to do is explain this very simply for you. So on the left-hand side, you can see the system. Okay, so the system says here that on the environment level, there's opportunities. Behavior, that's the action that we take. Capability is our emotion. Beliefs and values is our motivation. Identity is our mission, and the purpose is our vision. Now, our vision is our ideal sort of day, our ideal life, ideal car, and things like that. It's something that we do not have now. It's a massive collection of goals of how we want to wake up each day, what time we want to go to bed. It's like the perfect world scenario. And by the way, this vision should be so big that you have to grow as a person to realize the vision. Because if your vision is not sort of bigger than you are now, it's not really a vision. It's more of a to-do item. It's like if you can realize your vision tomorrow, it's not really a vision. Okay, we want to go like big idealistic world here. Okay, so if we look on the right hand side now, we see the self. Okay, so in the environment level, we've got constraints here. So if we go back to the system, if you look environment, systems, we got opportunities. So environment gives us an opportunity. For instance, you might be working in a job and you've got the opportunity to get a promotion and a possible pay rise. Okay. If we look at the self, what does that do for you as a person? Well, the constraint here might be, okay, to get that pay rise and that promotion, that means working longer hours, or that means taking on more responsibility, which is increasing the stress levels within yourself and, could ultimately lead to more unhappiness with yourself or the people around you, if you're working more and you're more stressed out or whatever. Okay, so the environment can be an opportunity and a constraint. Let's move up to the behavior. So on the system, we got the action. That's the action that we take. On the self, it's like our reaction. It's like, how do we actually react to the new proposition or the new opportunity, do we sort of go into our shell, or do we sort of swerve around it, avoid it, or do we learn, sort of grow into that person who's going to go, yeah, I can do it, even though I don't know how to do it yet? You know, how are we going to react to that? It's more the bravery here, taking the risk, so to speak. You know, it's the reaction to taking a calculated risk. I don't like to say risk on its own. Okay, so moving up to the capability level, this is our emotion on the system, and on the self, it's the intellect. Okay, so here, this is all about capabilities and skills, basically. So we got to remember that everything's going up towards the purpose, the vision, you know, that we haven't realized yet. Okay, so we've already established that in order to realize our purpose, we need to grow into the person who can have that, you know. So that means updating our skills and our capabilities. We might need to learn, well, we will need to learn how to do new things. And that's quite easy to get your hands on, because we live in the information age. So you can literally just put something into Google, you're going to find a coach, like just like I am here. I work at the belief level, but you're going to find a coach in any sort of capability sort of level there, whether that's a business coach or a relationship coach, whatever it may be, a health and fitness coach. Okay, so you get in the intellect. Once you get the intellect, that's going to give you the emotion that you need. It's basically sort of starting to line up the vibrations and the connectivity in your body. Basically, it's sort of like preparing to launch. Okay, so let's look at the next level, beliefs and values, which is where I do all of my work. Is this level here. And I love this level because I feel this is the engine room. You know, this is where, you know, you got to make sure, if we're going to the analogy of an engine, that everything's in working order, you know, that we're topped up, that we've got everything lined up in order to start that engine and start revving. Okay, so if we look at the system, this gives us all of our motivation. Okay, and what's interesting on the self is this gives us permission. Okay, because our values might give us all the motivation in the world, but are our beliefs giving us permission, or are they limiting us at this point? Limiting beliefs. Now, I'll give you a very brief example of this from my own life, if that's okay. Now, I used to run a moving company, which made me, you know, employ 12 guys on the roads. Okay, so managing all of those sort of guys was, you know, a task in itself. Okay, and I had a belief, a limiting belief, that all people will always let me down. This was before I was aware that I had this belief mind. Okay, but my purpose was to build a great business, build a great team. Okay, so people were coming in late, people were not doing their job properly, and, you know, talking to customers wrong, whatever it may be, a whole host of sort of firefighting. Okay, so I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll put some systems into the business. Now, any business coach worth his weight in gold, you know, is going to tell you, you need to systematize your business, because when you systematize your business, the people run the systems and the systems run the business. Okay, that makes sense. So put in the best system. Guess what? The people didn't follow the system. And it wasn't until I learned this logical level thing, what I'd done, I'd try and change the environment there. I was at the environment level. I put in a new system. It was brilliant. And I wanted the behavior to change within the company, which it did a little bit, but it didn't to the point which I knew it should be. Once I understood beliefs, how powerful they are, I realized I had a limiting belief. All people will always let me down. A belief that I installed as an 8-year-old. Okay. And then I was 32, struggling, trying to build a team of people. Okay. And I changed my belief from all people will always let me down to the right people will always be there to help and support me. Okay, and by the way, I didn't just do that at a drop of a hat. I didn't just find the limiting belief and change it. I didn't go, oh, I believe this silly thing about that, do I? That's silly of me. I don't believe that now more. I now believe this. I didn't. It's not like that. That there's a bit more depth and dialogue and sort of knife twist and emotion. It's all tangled up. That it all needs to be unraveled, laid bare, and lined up in a way that lines up with how I wanted to live and what I wanted to achieve. Okay, so it's a little bit more than just literally changing the sentence or doing the opposite of the belief. You know, what we've got within my system that I go through my one-to-one clients is sort of like 8 questions, and we would journal these as you would, because it's a personal experience. It's your belief. It's not my beliefs. Okay, it's my client's beliefs. And then you sort of, as soon as you write it down, almost it starts dissolving. It's amazing. And you realize you've been carrying it and it's been limiting you for all these years. So once I changed that belief to the right people will always be there to support me, suddenly I had the permission now to build a great team. And as if by magic, the wrong people started handing in their notice and leaving. And I started attracting the right people. It was just incredible, which is why I work at this level now, because I'm just completely fascinated by it. It's like all these beliefs, all the things that have happened to us when we were like children. And, you know, we might have been in a situation where we were scared, or, you know, we were just fearful or trapped, and we make a belief. We sort of like go, right, all people will always not let me down, nail in the coffin, and then we carry that around with us, never getting close to anyone, never being able to build connection or develop any sort of emotional connection with people, because that belief, all people will always let me down. There's no point in doing none of this, because that's always going to happen, the limiting belief. Okay, so that's one example there. As we move up to the identity, we've obviously got our mission. Our mission is to do the things that get us to our vision, right? Okay, so come back down to mission, go across to the self. How does this affect the self? Well, what role do we have to play? You know, if we want to build, say, for instance, I wanted to build a big moving company business, then the role I needed to play was not removal manager. I had to be like a CEO, a business owner. So the business could work without me having to be there micromanaging it. What do I have to do? Then, you know, then you can sort of look at your capability there. Well, how well am I doing at leadership? What beliefs do I have about leadership? You know, but it all starts from this sort of purpose and identity sort of level. Okay, so as we go up to the very top level, the purpose, as we can see, the system is the vision and the self is the ambition. It's like, this is your ambition and it's personal to you and what you want to do. And you can be as creative as you want with this. When I'm writing my purposes, because like I've got a purpose for like my personal purpose, every business that I start, I'll have a purpose for that. Whatever I'm doing, the relationship with my daughter, the relationship with my son, I've got a different purpose for each, you know, category. And your ambition, you can be as creative as you want with that. And what we do, we do this by journaling. So you've got it all sort of set out in front of you. And, you know, we work from there. And it's really good being creative in your own life. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you've got some value out of this. I hope it's starting to make sense as to where you kind of feel limited, or what you need to do, whether you need to change your environment, your behavior, your capability, and ultimately try and my one nugget I can give you is try and work on your purpose. What is your ideal life? You know, do you want to work 9 till 5, 40 hours a week until you're 65 or whatever the, you know, the retirement age is now? Or do you want to be creative with it? What is your ideal life? Write it down, change the way you think over time, and then you can work down all these levels. Like, what environment am I in? What's my behavior? What's my capability in this area? What are my beliefs and values? Beliefs, massive. Who do I need to be? Identity and the purpose. Okay, so I hope this is bring some value to you. that's all I wanted to share with you today. Like I say, I work in the beliefs area because I love finding limiting beliefs, helping people find them, remove them, and replace them. So it's important that we replace them because a limiting belief has so much emotion attached to it anyway. It's just perhaps channeled in the wrong way. We want to keep the emotion, all of the energy there, but we want to redirect it into this empowering belief now. Okay, so I hope that's given you some value. I'll let you get back to your day now. And if you want to speak to me about any of your beliefs whatsoever, feel free. I'll leave a Calendly link for you so you can click on that and book in for a call with me. Okay, that'll be one-to-one, and that will be with me, by the way. It's not going to be no one else. It's just going to be with me. And I look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.